И вновь здравствуйте, господа и дамы, с вами Севен, и мы продолжаем проходить такую замечательную игру, как Noir. В предыдущей серии мы с вами прибыли в порт, увидели здесь кровь прямо под телевизором, хотел сказать, под телефоном, с которым нам предположительно и звонили неизвестные люди, а точнее всего один человек. И теперь мы, вооружившись фонариком, двигаем в сам порт. Я не хочу перестрелку, я не хочу умирать. Здесь темно, как задница слона. Но делать нефиг. Придется идти так. Чё, ты батарейки что ли не вставил? Сама что ли это делать? Да ладно, быть не может. Так вот. Давай, включай. Давай.
Gun and flashlight in hand, I walk around the crates scattered around the port. I'm careful to cast my light everywhere that someone could be hiding with the idea of whacking me over the head with something when I least expect it.
Да сейчас труп
There
найдем.
isn't anyone on the dock. I decide to look around the piers. And there, I find something that doesn't really surprise me. A dead body. Sean's dead body.
Шон?
I touch his face with my fingers. It's warm. He can't have been dead more than 20 minutes. Rifling through the pockets of his coat, I find a bottle that, from the smell of it, must have rye whiskey in it. And a couple documents with the name John Ford on them. They're done so well, they almost seem real. All of a sudden, a noise behind me brings me back to reality.
Смайли поработал?
But it's too late. A set of knuckles meets my jaw like a truck. I fall to the ground. From the rebound, my finger pulls the trigger, and the gun goes off. The trajectory of the bullet is as random as my shot. The owner of the fist stands there like a statue, making noises like a caged gorilla at the zoo. I try to think of a quick way to knock him over. He's as big as a house, but a kick to his legs will knock him over like a consumptive kid. Right before I'm about to jump, the guy turns around and runs away. I follow him.
Подлагнула.
But as soon as I get off the piers, a light beam hits me right in the face.
Полиция!
Hands up, says a voice, but I can't see the face. New York Police, continues the voice.
Класс. Подстава! Кто такой Шон? Я не помню.
Del Nero, that's a great story you just told. An anonymous call, a mysterious assailant, and a dead body. Sounds like the plot of one of those crime novels so popular these days.
I bet it's those kinds of books that made you the lieutenant you are today.
Hey, I wouldn't joke if I were you. You're not in a position to be joking. Let's summarize your version of the facts. Around 20 past midnight, you got a call from a man. He said he had information for you and asked you to go to the Melville port. You agreed to meet him. When you got to the port, no one was there. You decided to walk to the piers, and there you discovered the body of Sean McClane, a former police officer who had been your partner in this department years back until the Valenti case when you both got kicked out of the force. And to conclude, you claim that you were assaulted by some mystery guy who was chasing you when you got arrested by Officers Harris and McGee. Now, is this all correct?
It's the third time that I've told you the facts of the matter. I can repeat it as often as you like, so that you can see whether I trip up, but that technique isn't gonna work.
You are accused of homicide, Del Nero, and I suggest you cooperate with us if you don't want to end up in a cell. There are some unclear points that I'd like to shed some light on, if you don't mind.
Sure. I don't have any other appointments. My knitting class has already ended.
Del Nero, joke around if you think this behavior will help you. At 20 past midnight, you got a telephone call from a man that asked you to go to the old Melville port. You agreed without thinking twice. Let's talk about the telephone call you received.
О, Господи.
It was a guy with some information about one of my cases.
Okay. It must have been very important information to make you go to the port in the middle of the night.
Да.
What information are we talking about?
Старой любви. Вариант ответов, конечно, господи. Может, что-нибудь ответит? Так? От балды.
As you wish, Del Nero.
Еще и на
If you
время?
don't want to answer, you'll pay the consequences. Based on your story, when you got the call, you went right to the Melville port.
Кто ж
How
знал
did you
то?
get to the port?
I took a cab.
Interesting. From the telephone records, we know you called a cab company at 12:27, but we don't have any proof that you really did take a cab. How do you explain the fact that no driver reports having you in their cab?
Maybe he was drunk.
Don't you lie, Del Nero. How do you explain the fact that no driver reports having you in their cab?
I paid the cab driver so that he'd say nothing.
Okay. When you got to the port, did you meet anybody?
No, no one was there.
So you didn't meet anyone. What did you do when you arrived at the port?
I took a look around.
С метеоритами в
The
небе.
officer said that you were inside the port. Why did you go to the piers?
Господи.
Instinct. Do you know what that is?
That behavior won't get you far, Del Nero. Del Nero, I'm tired of your attitude. I hope you like this room, because until you decide to talk, you're staying here. Have a nice stay.
Черт!
Goodbye, Del Nero.
Видимо, нам нужно было
Dannazione.
правильно отвечать,
Great.
да?
A homicide charge was all that was missing. I wonder what else this day has in store for me.
А если бы мы ему нормально ответили, чем бы это все
The
закончилось?
radiators shut off. There's never been a comfortable interrogation room.
Ну,
It's
включите.
off.
Холодно. Голодно.
Hey,
Окошечко.
is there anybody in there? If you plan on keeping me here for long, you could at least give me a magazine to read. This place is boring. It doesn't look like anybody is in there. It's the counter where you return personal effects.
Тук-тук.
Not much that I can do. It's closed. Not much that...
Скоты. Это что такое?
This door is the only way for me to get out of here. The hard part will be going through it without handcuffs on.
What is it?
Стука не было.
How long are you going to keep me here?
Until Lieutenant Malone says you can leave.
Короче,
You
пока
can't
лейтенант
keep
не
me here
скажет, что можешь
forever.
валить.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Эй, да, короче, блин, а почему нет этого перевода? О, стук.
What is it?
Хочу позвонить.
I want to make a telephone call.
Forget it. The telephone
Забудь.
line is out of order.
Ничего не
So calm
работает.
down and...
In that
Для
case,
тебя.
I won't ask to get rid of the monkey jailer.
Huh. What is it?
Я хочу поговорить с Мэлоуном.
I want to talk to Malone.
I'll go call him. Don't
Пойду
move.
позову его,
Damn.
не
I was
двигайся.
planning on taking a trip to Easter Island while you were away.
Huh.
Ну ладно,
Have
давайте.
you finally decided to
Да,
cooperate,
да,
Del
да,
Nero?
да. Так уж и
I
быть.
just want to get out of here.
The only way to get out is to answer my questions.
Хорошо.
Let's start again. Let's
Блин.
talk about the telephone.
Да, звонок. Хорошо, это был бывший тип, которого...
It was a guy.
Да.
Okay, it must have been very important. What info?
Который я ищу.
Information on a person I'm looking for.
Interesting. Based on your story, when you got the call, how did you get to the port?
Я взял такси.
I took a...
And from the telephone record, how do you explain?
Я пригрозил китайцу.
I threatened a Chinese driver that was trying to pretend he was Mexican.
Don't joke around. And how do you explain the fact that no driver reports
Ну, не верит, да?
I paid the cab driver so that he'd say nothing.
Okay, when you got to the port.
The port was deserted.
Interesting. What did you do when you arrived at the port?
I took a look around.
Good. The officer said that you were inside the port.
Ну да.
Why did you go to the piers?
Ну,
There were traces of blood.
Don't lie, Del Nero. My officers didn't find any traces of blood.
Слепорылые
Why did you
придурки.
go to the piers?
I heard some noise.
Interesting.
А, то есть
What did you find
вранье...
at the piers?
Ну ладно.
McLean's body.
Interesting. If you don't mind, Del Nero, I'll tell you my version of the facts now.
Ну давай.
I'm sorry if it's not as exciting as yours. There aren't any mystery men or anonymous calls. I think that someone was tailing Sean McLean and then decided to tell you he was at the Melville port. Maybe he did it for the money or for some sort of professional ethics between you private detectives.
Crap.
Let me finish, Del Nero. With that information, you took a cab to the port, making sure you had your gun with you. When you got there, you found McLean and you shot him in the stomach.
А чё,
That's
блин,
how
похоже,
McLean
что на
admitted, Del
моей
Nero.
пуле умер, придурок. Экспертизу бы, блин.
I didn't kill McLean.
No? So let's talk about the gun you had in your hand when the officer surprised you at the port. You shot out from behind the docks, running like a madman with a gun in your hand. Is that right?
Yes, I had my gun with me.
Paraffin analysis on your gun shows that you used it tonight. How do you explain that?
I already told you that my gun went off during the scuffle.
Oh, of course. The scuffle with the mystery man. A man whose face you didn't see and that the officers didn't find any trace of. Del Nero, there were only two people at the port tonight. You and McLean. You were the
Дебил.
one who killed McLean!
Why would I have killed him?
Фига себе заела такие.
Revenge, Del Nero. Nothing but revenge. McLean confessed to your involvement with the Valenti family, and that cost him his job on the force and got you a year in the state prison. Well, that seems like a plausible reason to kill someone.
These are just theories, Malone.
These are the facts, Del Nero.
Иди в жопу.
Confess. It was you who killed Sean McLean.
Не дави на меня.
It wasn't me.
Say you're guilty, Del Nero.
Fuck you!
You don't have any proof.
Del Nero, the law allows me to keep you here for as long as I need to. If you confess now, the judge will go easy on you,
Так вот всё
and you might
делается.
get off with a lighter sentence. Otherwise, you stay here in this room until we find the evidence that shows you're the killer. And if we can't find them, I'll make sure that something turns up.
Ну да, чтоб висяков
Goodbye,
не
Del
было.
Nero.
Ух ты, говнюк.
Bastard. Dannazione. Malone won't take too long to get the proof he needs. I have to find a way out of this situation. An interrogation table. I'd like to say that it's the first time I've seen one. It doesn't make any sense.
Так, ладно, что мы можем сделать? Слышь ты, хрен.
What is it?
Я хочу позвонить.
I want to make a telephone call.
Forget it. So calm down and stop making pointless requests.
In that case, I won't ask to get rid of the monkey J.
Huh.
Всё то же
What's
самое.
happening now?
Someone paid your bail. Pick up your personal effects at the counter and beat it. We need the
О,
room.
давай.
Right when I was starting. Is this a?
Да-да-да-да, давай. Давай.
I'd better get out of here quickly. I don't want to spend another minute in this place.
Если я правильно поняла, за нас заплатили... Нет, стоп.
My personal.
Шматьё.
I hope nothing's missing.
Пистолет отдайте свой.
Sean's bottle of rye. The officers must have thought it was mine. Otherwise, they would have never left me an object belonging to the person they think I shot.
Зашибись, это все наши вещи. Уходим.
Hey, let me out of here.
Грета, Герта, как тебе там? Это ты?
The police department of Hoboken. It's been years since I've been here. Nothing's changed. There are the same photographs on the walls as when I worked here. Officers with their chests puffed out and mayors shaking hands. I really didn't miss this place. Anyway, it's time to figure out who's the good Samaritan that decided to pay
Да.
my bail.
Я правильно расслышала.
The service officer's post.
Что тут есть? Ой, сколько всего.
The department's porter's lodge. I don't have time to want.
Да ладно.
I don't have time. The department's benches, as uncomfortable as the reason why someone would have to sit on them.
Хорошо сказано. Нет, стоп.
The police department. It's been years since.
Так, давай поговорим с ним.
Hi,
Простите.
officer.
How can I help you?
Can you tell me who paid my bail?
Tell me your name.
Jack Del Nero.
Jack De Niro?
Del Nero, not De Niro.
Okay, calm down.
Только когда ты начнешь мою фамилию правильно произносить.
Jack Del Nero. Here you are. Released at 1:13 with bail paid by Victoria Diaz.
Oh.
Yes, it was Sergeant Diaz who paid your bail. Well, you have powerful friends.
Ничего себе.
It looks like it. Where can I find Sergeant Diaz?
Top floor. Stairs are in the back on the right.
Thanks. Goodbye, officer.
Goodbye.
Виктория Диас.
Sergeant Diaz, this behavior is unacceptable.
Пошел
I'm not
нахрен.
gonna let you hamper my investigation.
It takes a lot of guts to call it an investigation.
I'm not gonna discuss my methods with you. I'm your superior, and I'm ordering you to get your nose out of this matter.
Fuck
or
you.
I'll have to take care of you as well.
What do you want to do? Toss me in a cell too?
Stay out of it. It won't turn out well for you.
Угроза, угроза. Вали отсюда, хрен с горы.
Del Nero, do what you want for the time that you have left, because in 24 hours, you'll be back behind bars, and I'll be the one bringing you in.
What an honor.
Пошел нахрен.
Joke all you want. The truth will come out one way or another.
Какой мерзкий
You do
мужик.
like to play the role of the irreproachable police officer, right, Malone?
It's a role that comes easy when I'm standing in front of a murderer.
You have no proof that I killed McLean.
I'll find it, Del Nero. I'll find it.
Ну, попробуй.
I suggest you don't leave the city. I have personally informed every officer in New York about your situation. If they find you with one foot outside the city,
Хорошо
close to
перевели.
doing anything you shouldn't be, they have orders to arrest you and bring you in.
An entire police department watching my every move. I'm thrilled by the attention.
24 hours, Del Nero. Give me 24 hours.
Ага. Сейчас. Вика, Вика, милая. Спасибо тебе, дорогая.
Sergeant Diaz.
Knock it off, Jack. Call me Victoria.
You've had quite a career over the years. When I knew you, you were just a rookie.
A lot of time has gone by, Jack. Anyone would have done it.
I don't think so. If I were still on the force, I'd still be patrolling Central Station.
You could have become a lieutenant without any problems if you just had some common sense.
I have a pretty rocky relationship with common
Это был
sense.
комплимент или не
Which
очень?
isn't very good for an officer.
But that aside, we have to talk. Is there a quiet place?
My office should be quiet enough.
I had been in the force for a couple years already when Victoria came to the department. She was one of the rookies, fresh from the academy, certain that she could make this city a better place. She
Наивняк.
quickly realized that wasn't the case, and that, for her, things wouldn't be so easy. Before
Идеалистка.
then, no one had ever heard of a policewoman, and no one wanted her in their way. A Mexican girl who would have started crying at the first gunshot? Not exactly the ideal partner. So Captain Mayers decided to pair her with someone who wouldn't make any trouble. Sean and I were perfect. We had so many demerits for bad conduct that we weren't in any position to object to any of his decisions. So we started to babysit the girl. We taught her everything we knew: how to follow a lead, how to pump someone for information, and how to go home without a bullet in you. Victoria was a quick learner. Yeah, she was shy, but she had intuition. Sean and I liked her right off the bat.
Целая история. Здорово. Вот мне нравятся вот эти небольшие флешбеки. Теперь у нее, смотрите, целый кабинет.
A map of New York and a few old photographs of Mexico, Victoria's native country.
Что тут еще есть?
I have the same armchair in my office. A coat rack. No, I didn't come to stick my...
Да ладно. Можно было бы просто поинтересоваться.
I'm not here to...
Там, над чем работаешь?
No,
Ну ладно.
It's Victoria. If it wasn't for her, I'd still be in the interrogation room.
Ты в курсе, что ты все это вслух говоришь, чувак?
What do you want to ask me?
А, какого хрена, да?
Why did you pay my bail?
Shouldn't I have done it? Would you have rather stayed in the interrogation room?
Что
So
за...
you believe I'm innocent?
I didn't say that. But I doubt that you were the one who killed Sean.
You don't think I could kill a man?
Yeah, you could, but that's not the point. You have a lot of defects, Jack, but you're not a killer. And what really doesn't stand up is the motive. Revenge. You pay someone to find Sean and kill him. That doesn't fit with someone who is as unresponsive as you are.
Unresponsive. I'll take that as a compliment. Tell me about Malone.
What do you want to know?
What were you talking about when I got here?
It seems like he didn't appreciate that I paid your bail.
You aren't on good terms?
We aren't on any terms at all. Malone does his investigations alone and doesn't want anyone underfoot.
When did he get here?
It's been 3 years since he was transferred here. No one knows much about his past. He's not the kind of guy with whom you can chat over a beer. The only thing I know is that he was with the feds. But no one knows why he left, and especially why they transferred him to New York.
Do you know anything else?
What do you want me to say? That he's allergic to lemons, so you can poison him with a slice in his coffee? Jack, no one knows much about him. He talked to you more during the interrogation than to me in 3 years of working together.
What do you know about him?
Well, as much as I hate to admit it, he's a great police lieutenant. Over the years, he has managed to dismantle more criminal activities than even the feds. He even received an award from the mayor in person.
Раскрывал он эти так же, как и мои? Мое дело,
His
да?
methods during investigations are well known, but everyone turns a blind eye when they see the results. Superiors, feds, Republicans, or the Democrats.
Козлов
So he has the
вообще не
support
находил.
of the white collars?
Right. You have to be very careful with him. Tease him enough, and you'll end up in jail, guilty or innocent.
I think I've already teased him enough.
I have no doubts about it.
Так, ладно.
Let's change the subject. Tell me about Sean.
I'm not working on the case, but ask away.
What was he doing in New York?
I don't know. Since you two both got kicked out of the police force, I haven't ever seen him again. I just knew that he had moved to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. While I was locked up in a 10 by 10 foot cell, he was living it up in the city of angels.
I don't think he was exactly living it up, Jack.
What do you mean?
I got a case a while ago. A guy, a certain Patrick Olson, blew up a cafe near Central Park. During the investigation, Sean's name came out of nowhere. We never had any real need to contact him or question him or even suspect him, but that fact that his name came up surprised me. It seems like he was mixed up in some dirty business out in Los Angeles. I don't know what exactly, but he wasn't living it up.
Why did he have falsified documents with him?
I'm telling you, I'm not on the case, so I don't know all the details. But I think it's strange that Sean was in New York with fake documents, considering that a lot of people know him here. The fakes certainly wouldn't have helped him pass unnoticed.
I don't have any other questions for now. I better go now.
If you need me, I'll be in my office.
Супер. Хоть какая поддержка у нас, но есть. Уже хорошо. Хорошо, что мы можем еще здесь... Ой, господи, как много всего-то, а?
One of the many desks where each officer spends at least half of his life writing reports that no one will ever read. These archives must be older than this building. I didn't like going through the archives when I was an officer. I don't think I'll start liking it now.
Мы можем что-нибудь взять?
I don't see anything that attracts my attention as a beginner kleptomaniac.
Хороший персонаж. Так, что еще тут? Жаль, он у нас бегать только не умеет.
All the officers' shifts are on this blackboard. Name of the officers and their patrolling locations. Their radio frequencies are written here as well.
Так.
Name of the officers.
Так, подожди. Давайте помедленнее, я это что-то не соображаю. Так. Бронкс, Квинс. Вайнховер. Шрифт какой-то не очень. Джордж, Классол.
Name of the officers and their name of the officer. Name of the office. Name of the name of the
Давайте
office.
тупо.
Name of the off. Name of the name of the
Это правда тупо,
name
но,
of the name of the name of the
наверное, нам это
name of
потом
the-
пригодится.
name of the
Видимо, мы
name of
здесь
the-
не последний раз бываем.
name of the officer. Name of the name of the name of the
Да. Точно не последний раз бываем. Да, к Виктории мы наверняка еще зайдем.
forms to fill out. One of the things that I don't miss about police work. No thanks. Bureaucracy and I don't get along too well.
Что тут?
These archives must be older than this building.
Хорошо. Я все это исследую просто потому, что мне интересно, что он
One of
скажет.
the many desks where each officer spends at least.
Так, хорошо.
It only says Elliot on the door. They could have at least put his last name. Why? I wonder. Where does this crazy desire to open all the doors and take all the objects that I see come from?
Ой, меня тоже всегда интересовал этот вопрос.
A notice board full of notices and better not touch.
Хорошо. Хорошо, так быть.
The department is exactly the same as I remembered. There are even the same photographs as when I worked here.
Ну, отлично. Спускаемся, тогда уходим. Что тут делать?
That's the crazy Chinese cab driver who left me at the port. What the hell is he doing here?
Ну как, не догадываешься,
It's
что
that crazy... What are you doing here?
You! You! I knew it! You report me! Tell all to police!
What the hell are you talking about?
Yes, you pretend, but you one of them! One of them that hate foreigners! Yes, you sexist!
Racist,
Да.
not sexist.
Yes, you racist! You tell police to get me out of your country!
Listen, buddy, I couldn't care less if you're Chinese, African, or from Easter Island. I don't know why you're here. And if you stop squawking, maybe I'll be able to understand what's happening here.
You no report me to police?
No, I have other things to worry about than a damn cab driver.
If it not you, then who was it? I confused.
Welcome to the club. $10 to enroll and free whiskey Fridays.
$10? That expensive!
Forget about it.
все буквально
Let's
воспринимает.
start with you telling me how you ended up here. And your name, too, because I'm not calling you the Chinese cab driver for the rest of this conversation.
My name Chon Jishiwan.
Okay, I'm happy with Chon.
Ah, do as you want.
Why are you here?
As soon as I leave port,
As soon as you ran from port.
I know one. Me?
Continue with the story.
As soon as I leave port, I realize I have to go bathroom. Weather is not what once was, you know?
I like hearing the details, but you can skip some of them.
Okay. I stop cab and look for a place where I can go to bathroom.
Why not do it near the cab?
I timid person, and this not your business. Anyway, when I get back, I see a man near cab.
A police officer?
No, not a police officer. No uniform, but gun in hand.
A gun?
Yes, gun. When I saw him, I hide behind dumpster. I thought he thief because he look in cab. Then suddenly he go away. I waited, hiding behind dumpster, afraid that they come back. When I come out, police come. I say that I just cab driver, but they bring me here.
Tell me about the guy with the gun.
He had mean face. In fact, I no trust and stay hiding. I cab driver. I know mean faces.
What was he doing?
He look at my cab like looking for something.
Did he say or do anything strange?
Before he go, he cursed a certain McLean.
McLean?
Yes, name seems same. You know?
It's not important if I know him or not. Tell me more about this guy.
I no trust you. I afraid that if I tell you, I get in trouble.
Hey, I'm risking life in the slammer for this case, so if you know something, talk.
Oh, you threaten all you want, but I no say nothing. I not know nothing.
Damn cab driver. Maybe Victoria could give me some information so I can make John talk. Now I have to go.
Ah, you go.
Ну ладно, прикольный чувачок, даже жалко его. А наш больно резкий на язык. Требует, еще что-то угрожает. При этом, господи, моя забыть немножко.
Come in.
Еще
It's
разок.
Victoria. If it was...
Спасибо, Кэп.
Hi, Victoria. I have a few things I want to ask.
You're still here. I'm starting to think that you missed the department.
Не.
About the Chinese cab driver.
What do you want to know?
Why is he here?
His cab was half a mile from the crime scene. They found it parked near the port. The officers saw him, and when they found out he had taken you to the port, they brought him here. Since he got here, he hasn't done anything but whine and cry to get his cab back.
Where's his cab now?
It's in the department's warehouse. The officers brought it there. Obviously, it's been seized.
Interesting. Maybe now I have something to use to make Chan talk. I don't have anything else to ask you.
Whatever you want.
Все, уходим.
I better go now.
If you need me, I'll be in my office.
Замечательно. В общем, выдвигаемся отсюда. Так, вниз. Давайте тогда здесь остановимся. В следующей серии уже будем болтать с Чоном, выяснять, что как почем. Чон, чё, почем. Уху. Вот, и в общем-то, да, всем огромное спасибо за ваше внимание. Если вам понравилось, вы знаете, что делать. Опять же, увидимся с вами в следующей серии. Всем удачи. Пока-пока.